Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Danilo Caprick here, aka the best dressed man in tech sales. Please don't forget it. Now, in this video, really excited to break down the topic of how do we prevent ourselves from being poor, and what is the mindset that we should adopt in order to fast track our path to success. So, without further ado, let's break down these insights. A lot of folks, especially in psychology, say that perception is reality. And that's certainly true. The way that you think of the world is going to shape the world you live in. But what also shapes the world you live in is your daily behaviors and actions. So again, you can have the most bright and rosy mindset up here, but if your actions and behaviors are not so great, or they don't align with the vision of reality you have in your head, sorry to say, but you're not going to produce the kind of reality that you want to live in. So for that reason, it's important that we break down some of the behaviors and actions that we should start and stop doing in order to improve our financial picture and prevent ourselves from being poor. So let's talk about some of these behaviors and habits. All right, let's start off with what I like to call broke people habits or broke people behavior. One of the most common behaviors of broke people is that they complain a lot and they blame other people. Okay, complaining and blaming other folks for your own reality or your own situation is one of the easiest ways to stay broke or remain in poverty. And the reason for this is a lot of wealthy people, a lot of rich people are self-made. And guess what? They had to accept responsibility. They had to take the blame. They had to absorb the blame, put it on themselves, and they had to perhaps get themselves out of a certain situation. If you blame other people constantly, what it means is you are giving them power over you. Meaning, hey, I can't do this, or this isn't my fault, it's so-and-so. Oh, it's the economy, it's the government, it's this, it's that. Every time you blame something else, you literally take away your own power and you give it all to the thing you're blaming. So if you blame anything for any outcome in your life, guess what? You are basically saying, I'm stuck like this, I can't change, they have all my power, and I'm just gonna be here complaining about it. Complaining is very similar to blaming because you're basically just spewing negative thoughts and expressions about a certain situation. So, oh, this isn't right, I don't like that color, this food is crap, this is that, whatever it is. If you continue complaining, it just means that you're choosing to shed a spotlight on the not so good parts of life. And if you want to focus on the not so good parts of life, guess what we said earlier? Perception also shapes your reality. If your perception is largely skewed towards the negative, what are you going to see more of in life? The negative. What do rich people do? Rich people focus on the positive. And if there is something negative, they ask themselves, what can I do about this? Or what can I learn from this? And that is a much healthier, better mentality and thought process to have that can help you actually get out of the situation or change it to a more positive one. So point number one, blaming and complaining. Stop doing it. That's for broke people. Habit number two that wealthy folks do and that poor people don't do as much of is reading and learning. Okay, we can bucket those kind of as the same thing because reading is a form of learning, right? Absorbing new information about a certain subject, topic, or field. But here's the thing. If you stop learning, if you choose to stop absorbing new information and you just continue the habits that you had when you were in your 20s or whatever it might be, you basically stop growing and you stop creating new possibilities. Every time you open up a new book, every time you search a new website, every time you get a little bit of new information, you're now in a better position to do something with that information, right? If you learn about finances or you learn about a new investment strategy, now all of a sudden you have the potential possibility of acting on that info and improving your financial future. Whereas if you don't learn about anything, if you just keep, putting your money in the bank and doing what you've always done, you're gonna stay the way you've always stayed. So again, if we stop learning, stop reading, that is basically a choice to say, I want everything to be the same. And if your financial picture is not where you want it to be, it will continue to be not where you want it to be. If you continue to learn, take courses, read books, do things that expand your mind, go to seminars, whatever it is, that is going to fast track your path to success because the more new information that you have, the more possibility you can create by acting on that information, thus changing your entire situation and life. So point number two, don't ever stop reading, don't ever stop learning. If you choose to stop reading and learning, you are basically saying, hey, I want everything to stay the same and I don't want anything to change. Habit number three, choosing to save your money. okay? Saving is a huge part of wealth accumulation, and it's also essential to not being broke, okay? Broke people don't save. Broke people just spend their money as soon as they get it, right? That is a very negative behavior to have if you want to get rich or wealthy. What rich or wealthy people do, even when they're rich, they still put a certain portion of their income into saving or some other kind of investment. So we need to cultivate the behavior of saving or setting aside a portion of income. That way we can accumulate more wealth in another place where we don't spend it. And a lot of folks will even say, oh, you shouldn't save money, you should focus on making more money. Well, here's the thing about that. You can certainly do that, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't focus on making more money. You can absolutely go ahead. But one of the secrets of the wealthy is knowing that it is a marathon, not a sprint. It is a process. It is not a one point in time event. And the better that you can get at creating the habit of saving, the better likelihood you have of being rich in the long run, right? If we do something and take a risky gamble or a certain investment, sure, we could get rich quick, but will it last, right? The thing about getting rich fast or making money fast or doing something in a short period of time is that we don't necessarily build up the habit to get the bigger thing, right? We did something once or we did something twice, 5 times, whatever it was. And then once we get it, we're gonna be less likely to do it again because again, it was a point in time thing. We didn't build up that muscle over time. Instead, it was just, again, a short-term thing that just happened to happen. Whereas if you can say, hey, I've been saving $500 to $1,000 a month for 20 years, you now have that habit. And if you should lose it all again, guess what? It's nothing for you to start that process all over again because you've been doing it for 20 years. And yes, it might take a longer time, but again, what's more important is that you have that muscle, you have that habit, that muscle memory of doing something again and again and again, being able to be patient, persistent, and that is what allows you to get that payoff in the long term. All right, habit number 4 is the last one of the video, guys. It's very, very important. It is delaying gratification, okay? Delaying gratification is one of the most important things that you can do to change your financial future and to become a better person overall. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the marshmallow experiment, but scientists did an experiment years ago where basically they had children in a room, one at a time, and they sat a marshmallow in front of them. And they said, look, we're gonna get out for a second, we'll be right back, don't eat the marshmallow. And what they did was they followed these kids for decades. And they found that the kids who did not eat the marshmallows were a lot more successful in life than the kids who ate the marshmallows right away. And think about it. Let's go back to the point of saving. Saving is a form of delaying gratification. You're saving for something you can't see yet. You're saving for an opportunity that might show up and might not, right? You're saving for your later years in life, which might not even happen. You might die, much sooner than you think. But guess what? It's, again, delaying that gratification. It's building that muscle up. It's building up that patience to see a long-term outcome that is not yet here. Delayed gratification can also play a part in other areas of your life, such as your health, right? If you go to the gym day in, day out, but you're not so necessarily concerned about the results you see every day, you know that 5 years from now, if you keep hitting the gym, you're gonna look amazing and feel great, so you keep going. That is also going to help you become a more wealthy individual, believe it or not, because again, you're practicing this delayed gratification, which is going to ripple in other areas of your life, such as your saving strategy, such as your long-term plans with your career, and maybe even the startup you want to create, whatever it is. But again, delaying gratification and learning how to build up that patience muscle is really going to help you fast track your path to success, no matter which direction you want to go in. So there you have it, guys. Those are the specific behaviors that we can start acting on today to improve our financial future and, again, reduce the likelihood that we are poor. But before we go, let's do a quick recap so we don't forget what we talked about. The first behavior we talked about avoiding at all costs is complaining and blaming. When we complain, we basically make the choice to shed the spotlight on the most negative parts of our lives, and guess what? We always get what we focus on. So for that reason, you want to stop complaining as quickly as possible and instead focus on what you can do to change the situation. When it comes to blaming, we want to avoid blaming other people because we are always responsible for our situation in life. And the more that we blame others, the more we rob ourselves of our own power and give that power away to the things or people that we blame. So if we want the power to change our situations, we need to take responsibility and stop blaming people as soon as possible. Behavior number 2 that we talked about was reading and learning, okay? Broke people choose at a certain point of their life to stop reading and learning, and they remain the same. What rich people do, or what wealthy people do, is they are lifelong learners. They continue reading every day. They take new courses. They go to the seminars. They buy the tickets to the thing. They go ahead and they don't stop. So keep reading, keep learning, take that class, book that seminar, whatever it is, but don't stop learning. Behavior number 3, we talked about saving, okay? Saving reminds us that wealth accumulation is a marathon, not a sprint. And if we can build up the muscle of saving over time, we are always going to be better positioned to become wealthy, because even if we lose it all, we know how to save. We know how to be patient and persistent, and that is going to increase the likelihood of us being able to accumulate wealth in the long term. Habit number 4 is delaying gratification. Okay, this kind of plays into the saving strategy we just talked about, but also it's going to allow you to do other things in your life that will increase your vitality, your health, and your wealth, such as being able to hit the gym without expecting immediate results. It's also going to allow you to take part in investments that might be long-term, right, where you don't see the result right away. So again, delaying gratification is absolutely crucial to wealth accumulation in the long run. That said, I really hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. If you did, please hit the subscribe button below. Also, if you're not doing so already, go follow me on LinkedIn. And last but not least, if you are trying to break into tech sales, or you're already in sales and you want to learn how to differentiate yourself from 99% of other sellers in the marketplace, go ahead and check us out at the B2B Syndicate. See what we got cooking up over there. All right? With that said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video today, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy now.